Hello and welcome to Stage 4 of the 2015 Tour of Qinghai Lake. The stage would start alongside the breathtaking lake where the race finished yesterday. Very different conditions, however, greeted the peloton when they woke this morning. And after temperatures of 30 degrees on previous days, the riders signed on with every piece of warm clothing they could find in their bags. On yesterday's stage, the yellow jersey had passed from Marco Kump of Adria Mobil to Alexander Polivoda of Kols.
My team is very concentration this morning. We need work all day, but we need take this jersey with more day, maybe 4 days, I don't know. But after and more mountain, more climb, and I don't know. This day very hard, but weather is no very dangerous. Yeah, it's a cold and the water and the weather. It's I don't know.
Of course, I want yellow jersey in this race again, if possible, if I can, if my team good help, I will do my best.
Stage 4 would take the riders 185 kilometers from Qinghai Lake to Gangcha, a rolling route that would test the riders across the open Tibetan plateau with a chance of strong crosswinds. The first of 3 intermediate sprints would come at 66.6 kilometers, the second at 120.7 and the final one at 158.2 before a very fast rundown to the finishing Gangcha. Cold temperatures and overnight rain had many riders worried at the start. It would be the first day in yellow for Alexander Polivoda of Kols, who led Luca Wackerman of Southeast by a slender 1 second. The peloton rolled out under imposing skies. All would have looked at the route for the stage, but as we know, it doesn't always take mountains to shake up a race, and the potential for crosswinds on these sort of stages could very much put pay to your chances if you're not incredibly vigilant. While Kols, as is tradition of the Yellow Jerseys team, took up the pace-making on the front, an early break was established containing Yamamoto of Nippo, Harag of Banka Bystrica, Hamuratov of Beijing Innova, Xingji of Hainan Zhongli, Yang Zheng of Gansu Bank, Yang Jinda and Wu Shenqin of the Qinghai Tuan Yuda team. As they got towards the first intermediate sprint of the day, it was Yang Zheng that took the sprint ahead of Yu Zhixi and Yang Jinda. By 70 kilometers, their gap to the peloton was now 3 minutes as they rolled under some incredible prayer flags that are a major feature along the Tibetan plateau. It was great to see so many home riders and their teams represented in the breakaway. With blue skies and sunshine ahead, in stark contrast to the morning, the big question was, could they grow their gap enough to stay away to the finish? As the peloton rolled under the same prayer flags, they looked totally in control in what was a long day in the saddle, and they were pulling the brake back very quickly. As they hit the second sprint at 120 kilometers, it was all back together, and Marco Kump led across the line ahead of Sergei Laguti of Kols and Mate Mugeli of Baku. The pressure was starting to go on the front of the peloton, and it was starting to thin out as they once again skirted the banks of Qinghai Lake. It was next the turn of the gutsy Mexican Luis Lemus of the American Airgas Safeway team, who went off alone in a brave move. He took the next intermediate sprint of the day to pick up the bonus points and seconds, and the twice national champion of Mexico was making himself as aerodynamic as possible in tough windy conditions using his Knight composite wheels to full advantage. The pressure was really starting to tell at the back of the peloton, and even though there were no mountains, the entire stage was still run off at over 3,000 meters. Lemus was swept up, and a group of 17 that was all that was left of the fractured peloton, and even Savitsky of Rusvelo took his first victory as a professional ahead of Mikhailo Kononenko of Kols and Marco Kump of Adria Mobil leading in the group behind.
Today was stage not easy, too much wind, my team very good work, and
13 kilometers to go. Group in attack, and a few people, maybe 25. And I sit in back group, behind group. And 2 kilometers to go. I'm attack, and I'm winner.
So a new name and a new team on the top step of the podium in this year's Tour of Qinghai Lake. Ivan Savitsky of Rusvelo takes the stage ahead of Mikhailo Kononenko of Kols BDC and Marko Kump of Adria Mobil. Hossein Alizadeh of Iran and RTS Santic pulls on his second blue jersey and retains the lead in the Best Asian Rider competition. And with no mountains today, Francisco Colorado of Ningxia Lottery Focus takes the second polka dot jersey for him in this year's race. Marko Kump of Adria Mobil extends his lead in the green points jersey competition after that intermediate sprint and third on the stage. And Alexander Polivoda of Kols BDC pulls on another yellow jersey, still the leader of the general classification, and a tough day ahead of him tomorrow. Make sure you join us for Stage 5. We're back into the mountains. From me, Martin McDonald, and 7 Cycling, it's bye for now.